Okay, so let's first look at the constant rate of change notes. You got these in your mailbox, so you should have already written this in your math notebook. This was the first set of notes. And so constant rate of change is a rate of change describes how one value changes in relation to another. So X and Y, they are related. There's always a constant rate of change. It is usually expressed as unit rate, which we have already done and gone over unit rate. Unit rate is a fraction, which means we will divide. So unit rate is whenever we would take Y divided by X and we would get a certain value. And so that's all it is. However, whenever we do constant, that means there's going to be more than one X and Y value. And in order to determine if it's going to be a constant rate of change or to find that constant rate of change, we have to first find the differences in the X and Y values. And then we will divide the differences. So the change in Y divided by the change in X. In math, the little triangle symbol means change or difference. All right, so now let's look at the homework that we did, or that you have. I did the first example, and anytime that we have a chart like this, this is always going to be the X side, this is always going to be the Y side. Okay, so I did the first example, and I will go ahead and do the next one for you if you need help with it. But going back to the first one, we're going to find the changes in the X values. So when I go from 0 to 3, that's a plus 3, and I wrote it right there already. 3 to 6 is a plus 3, 6 to 9 is a plus 3. Now I'm going to go over here to my Y value, the cost, and 0 to 12 is a change of 12. 12 to 24 is a change of 12, and 24 to 36 is also a gain of 12. The plus is important because sometimes a constant rate of change can be negative. So we need to know if the change is going positively or negatively. Okay, so then after that, all I do is take the change in Y. Remember that little triangle means change, and that was 12, seen over here. And then I divide it by the change in X, which was 3. And when I do that, and then I simplify it, and I get $4 per pound of ham, because it costs me $4, and I'm comparing it to the rate of change in the number of pounds of ham. Okay, so let's do number 2. First, I'm going to find the change in my X and Y. That's my first step. Look over here. I've labeled them also onto your homework to help. So 4 to 6, that's a plus 2. 6 to 8, that's a plus 2. 8 to 10, plus 2. Okay, so my change in X is going to be 2. Now I'm going to do the change in Y's. 80 to 120, that's a plus 40. 120 to 60 is also a plus 40. And 160 to 200 is also a plus 40. Okay, so I know that in order to find the constant rate of change, my formula is change in Y divided by change in X. It is just like the unit rate problem, except we are finding the changes to make sure it is constant. And I know my Y is 40, and my change in X was 2. So the constant rate of change in this one was 20, and it is $20 because that is the Y. You say the Y first. So $20. I can't fit it on my thing, but it'd be $20 per hours worked. Okay, so that is the constant rate of change as far as when you're given a chart. Now let's go down here to the bottom with number 5. Determine the constant rate of change for each graph. Now, when you're given a graph and it wants to know the constant rate of change, all you do is you find 2 points on the graph that are whole points. So right here, and let me see where it makes a good point. Let's do right here. Okay, so my 2 points that I got were, this one right here is 3, 6, and this one right here looks to be 6, 12. Okay, now I know that I need to do change in y divided by change in x, and so whenever I go from this point to this point, my y's have a plus 6 change and my x's have a plus 3 change. Okay, so then I take my y's, which was my 6, that's my change in y, and I put it over my change in x, which was my 3. So the constant rate of change for this one is 2. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So if we're looking at the values right here, it says girls versus boys in Mr. Mum's class. So what that means is that there are 2 boys for every 1 girl. Okay, please let me know if you need help, and I am happy to do so.